What's up, everybody? It's Kipper from East Coast Scooters, and welcome everybody back to the channel. In this episode, we're going to be going over some maintenance and detailing. I'll probably do a fast track when doing the maintenance part. It takes a while, but let's go with some tools right away. Every PEV, you gotta have your own set of tools, different sizes and whatnot. I've done this so many times, so I know which ones I need exactly. Quality tools. You need some quality tools, okay? Anything will work, if you're on a budget, whatever. But I do a lot of mechanic work on cars and whatnot, so I make sure I got good tools. I prefer Craftsman. It's not too expensive. It's very good quality, and if you want to get Snap-on, you get Snap-on. If you want to pay $100 for a screwdriver, that's on you, but I'm not paying $100 for a screwdriver. But anyway, yeah, so these are the open-end wrenches for this particular scoot. This is the Weped Dark Sonic, and I got a 17, another 17, I got a 19 and a 21. These are the only sizes that I need for this particular scoot. Right, and then of course, like I said, I have Craftsman again, and these are all the sizes hex that I need. As you can see, Wepeds, there's no welds on this particular scooter. Everything is bolted on, so everything is by hex. I have all the popular sizes going from 2, 2.5, 3, 4, 5, 6, and sometimes 8. Okay, and they usually give you, when you get like a scooter or whatever, they give you the little compact hex that you fold out. They're great if you don't have it, but I try to stay away from that, because if you look at the points, they're not really pointy, they're rounded off. And if your tools are rounded off and you use it on your screws, you're going to round out all your hex heads. So that's the reason why I choose Craftsman. You look closely, it's very sharp. All the points are sharp on these, and there's a lot less chance of you damaging the screws. Alright, so I have these the T-wrenches. Some of the jobs you need the T's, and some of these you need a little more torque, or depending on spaces, so you have these as well. Alright, before I tighten everything up, let me just go through what I have here. For after I tighten everything down, check all the bolts. Like I said, this particular scooter, there's no welds, so everything is put together by screws, held in by screws. So there's a lot of screws I have to go over. Each single one I go over. Alright. This one here is it's a mini leaf blower, 20 volt. Very powerful. So after I tighten everything down, this gets all the dust off real quick. It's loud. 3 speeds. This works excellent. Then I got a bunch of microfibers. Alright, these are your basic Amazon, of course. Your basic ones from Amazon. There's nothing too special about this, but for the purpose of cleaning the scoot, it's perfect. I detail cars also. I don't use these. I use better ones, like from Adams or Chemical Guys. They make much better microfibers, so not all microfibers are created equal. You get, depending on what you're using it for. This here, like I said, it don't matter, but when I detail cars, I need ones that are like double or triple the thickness, which are high quality, and it's much better. Alright, alcohol. Always use this to clean the brake rotors, and then sometimes I do take the brake pads off and to get a better cleaning, but always almost 100% alcohol. It's fine, and it evaporates real quick. Same thing like if you use a brake clean or something on your brakes, it takes all debris or the residue off, and it dries extremely quick. All right. For me personally, this is the only thing I use. It's a light cleaner. I know I mentioned this plenty of times. Griot's interior cleaner. This is for obviously cleaning the interior of your vehicle, but for the purpose of cleaning the scooter, it's a very good cleaner. It's not a strong cleaner. It's very light. You don't have to worry about discoloring any colors or whatever, and it does the job. Smells great, so I've used this all the time in the cars, and I always use this on all the scooters or any PV to clean. Alright, so these are the tools of the trade. Alright, obviously this one here is pretty popular, black diamond dirt removal. This here is for your grip tape. It's a grip tape cleaner, popular on all the e-skate guys, popular, and it works very well. Pretty much it's like a high density, I want to say rubber on here, and then you pretty much just go in a straight motion like this, like so, and it cleans very well. Right. Typical paintbrush. This thing is a blessing. This here, if your finger and rag can't get into a particular crevice, this here will form to any crevice and gets into any spot that you can't reach, and it does very well. This one here is another type of brush, little hard bristles here in case there's some stubborn stains that you need to get out. And this here is also to get in spaces that you can't really get to, and it works great. Then 3 different type of soft bristles. Doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be horsehair like this one, it could be plastic, whatever. And it's the same type of deal. It gets into the tight spaces. I have OCD, so you don't have to do exactly how I do it, but if you want a thorough cleaning, these are the tools that you need. And the last one here is a typical toothbrush. I wouldn't recommend using the one that you use to brush your teeth. I would use an old one or get another one, keep it separate. And I use this for the grip tape. Sometimes there's a little stubborn stain on here. I used the Griot's interior cleaner. Use the toothbrush to go back and forth, agitate it. And then since this is grippy, you don't want to use something like a cotton rag, whatever. I use a microfiber. And if you don't want all the shreds coming off after you clean it, I dab it. And it does an amazing job. Alright, so this is probably the part of the video where I'm not going to talk. I'm just go over all the bolts, and I'll probably speed up the video because I'm a little boring. Alright, so I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Pretty much I tightened everything down. There's a few bolts on the bottom. I'll take care of that later. I have to take it off the stand. And I have to do a few bolts on top when I lower it down. So, yeah, pretty much everything is tight. Everything was tight. I think maybe it was just like one screw on the deck was a little loose. Nothing crazy. But, alright. I'm going to show you how I cleaned the deck. First, blow off any excess dirt. Okay. Use the paintbrush. Right. I mean, it's pretty much clean. There's just some spots that just need to be agitated a little bit with the toothbrush. I'm going to take the Griot's interior cleaner. Spray it down. You don't want to put too much, just spread it around. Alright, then take a microfiber, and like I said, you just want to pat it. You don't want to scrape, because then everything, since this is grip tape, you're gonna get all the lint and everything left on there. So you can see, you just dab it. Comes out amazing. You know, if you have a spot that's really dirty, you want to concentrate on it, you can put a little more effort into it. And if you keep up your grip tape, it won't get too dirty. You know, so I do this after every ride. I tighten all the bolts down and I detail it, check the tire pressure, clean the brakes, and I get ready for the next ride. Right. Remember, you just want to pat it down. Just like new. You don't want to make it too wet. You don't want to go down into the deck. So just be careful when you spray over the bolt holes. Alright. What I do normally after, I take the grip tape cleaner. I mean, it's clean already, but for like those stubborn stains, you want to do clean strokes in one direction, not circles. Okay. Use the paintbrush. Should use the blower for last. Alright. And that's how you clean the grip tape. Alright, for the tires. You know, a lot of people like to put the tire shine on the side, which is fine. You know, obviously you never want to put the tire shine on the threads itself, obviously, because you're going to go sliding once you ride. But again, I used the Griot's interior cleaner and a hard bristle brush. I just spray it down. Right. After you use the brush, use a microfiber. Just wipe it down. You know, and it'll stay clean like this. You know, the natural look, natural rubber look. You know, once it dries, it's fine. Get all the brake dust off. And if you have OCD, no one's gonna do this, just me. Clean the actual threads. And that you just let normally dry. You don't have to go crazy. Do the same thing for the other side and same thing for the back. And I always leave the brakes last, because obviously when you're using any type of cleaner, some might get on the rotor. So that's for dead last. Once you're done, use the alcohol, clean the rotor so it's nice and fresh. Alright, I already got the tires done, got the rims done. Now I'm going to use the same rag and use another rag, since this is already saturated with the Griot's interior cleaner. I'm just going to wipe everything down. Alright, pretty much cleaned everything up. Like I said, I have to clean underneath when I take it off the stand and clean on top here also. But what I do is, on this particular scooter, there are some ball bearings in the washers on this type of scooter. You know, you might have also, depending on what you ride. And I always like to keep it lubricated, and I always go to WD-40 Specialist, white lithium grease. And I don't go crazy on it, you know, I just a little bit, you know, just to make sure those ball bearings are lubricated. Nothing crazy. A little bit goes a long way. And we have 2 on this side, 2 on this side, and there's some in the front. The reason why they have it back here is because this particular scooter, when you need to fold it, there's a pin underneath here. Take the pin out, and this whole back folds up onto the deck when you have to transport it. That's why they have these particular washers with the built-in ball bearings in there. I'll do the same thing to the other side. Just a little bit. Let it work its way in there. Keep it nice and lubed. Keep it moving freely. All right. And on the front also, there's a few of them for the front suspension. There's one directly underneath here for the steering. And there's also one on each side for the front suspension. Actually, there's 2. 2 on this side, 2 on that side, that's 4, and then the one underneath is 5. Just use a rag. I don't want a little overspray going down on the tires. All right. Right. Just wipe off any excess. You know, these are just things to do, preventive maintenance, if you will, to be proactive. Because if bearings go dry, that's when you'd have problems. Or if you get dirt stuck in it, then what the washer is supposed to move, it's not going to move. It's going to be all gritty. So if you do it every single time, you'll be good to go. Okay, one of the last things I'm going to do, I'm going to clean the brake rotors, like I said. I'm not going to take the calipers off and the brake pads this time. You know, so I'm going to use a separate rag. You don't want to cross-contaminate. So I always use this rag to clean the brakes. So if you use this rag that has the grills on there, it's already contaminated, then you're going to put that onto your rotor. So always you have a dedicated rag when you clean your brakes. Just do like 3 drops like this, And rotors have two sides, so you gotta pinch it. You need to clean both sides of the rotor. I mean, it's not too bad because I clean it all the time. So you have a little brake dust here, nothing crazy. And this will dry instantly. Alright, I'll do the same thing for the back. It's good idea while you're at it to inspect your rotors at this time. If you see like a bluish color on the rotor, that means that you're using your brakes too much and it's overheating. But if it looks silver, you should be good to go. All right, it's pretty much all done. She's looking good. Like I said, once I bring this down, I'm just going to clean underneath, clean on top. There's a few bolts on the bottom, a few bolts on top I'm going to check out. And also check your tire pressure. You know, another reason why I cleaned the threads before was you can visually look to see if there's anything, any screws, any nails or whatever that you have in there that might puncture next time you go out. So it's always a good idea to inspect it and check the tire pressure every single time as well, front and back. But okay, I'm gonna wrap it up now. Appreciate you watching. If you made it to the end, thank you very much, and look forward to the next video. Thank you very much. ECS for life.
Came back through the boy, ain't nothing left. Let me talk to him. Came up out that black hole, riding with no soul. Planet turned to ash, all I see is smoke rolls. Mask on my face, breathing in that hate. Whole fam gone, so I'm moving with that weight. Drip from the stars, I don't bleed, I burn. Tuck that beam, make a coward take a turn. Ship riding cold, AI talking low. Say mission felt, I said nah, it's about to blow. Talk slow, walk slow, moving through that wreck. Pistol in the panel, got revenge on deck. Ain't no peace, boy, I'm stepping with intent. Galaxy don't crumble, now I'm hunting through the vast. Fall heavy, flames on my coat. Slide through the void like a ghost on a boat. Steel in my grip, mask full of pain. Took my world out, now I'm bringing that flame. Ash fall heavy, flames on my coat. Slide through the void like a ghost on a boat. Steel in my grip, mask full of pain. Took my world out, now I'm bringing that flame. Heard them in the static, whispering my name. Trying to play God, now they caught up in the game. Cradle where my crib was, he still rides. I don't talk much, I just laser up they skies. Big step, maxed on boots on steel. Energy low, but the hate still real. Grind in the ship, sleep ain't came. Dreams full of blood and that smoke and that flame. Talking about peace, miss me with that. Drop my kin, now I'm gunning where they at.